Hello and welcome to JoltNet Live, where the production values are as high as a Mormon on Sunday. Let's have a little bit of music. There we go, fantastic. So imagine that this is me, and basically what I want to do, let's find me. Where am I? There we go. This is me. Look, there's me right here. That's me. And let's imagine that I want to get good at cybersecurity. And so in order to get good at cybersecurity, the first thing I need my own computer. So there's me, there's my own little computer. There we go, fantastic. It's a little laptop, it's absolutely awesome, and I'm using my laptop. But then the thing is, I also need other machines to try and hack into. So there's another machine right there that I'm going to try and hack into. It's one of those really old ones where the computer goes, where the screen goes on top of the tower, and the tower's wonky. How about we have like a server as well? So let's have some kind of a server right here that looks a bit like a speaker to break into as well. And then why don't we have another machine that we want to break into as well? Well, the problem is that if I want to have like a whole bunch of different machines with a whole bunch of different operating systems, so maybe I want one that's like Ubuntu, maybe I want like a Windows operating system, and there's like a little Windows flag, and who knows what this is running. Well, basically, then what I need to do is I need to make up my own network with a router. I need to connect up all those computers to my router or gateway. And that gets kind of expensive and also time consuming. To be fair, you should probably, if you're interested in cybersecurity, already know how networks work, and you should be able to kind of connect them all up anyway. But the thing is that it's quite time consuming to do this. And so what we're going to be looking at today is how to do this, except this entire network here is only going to exist on my machine. So in other words, as far as my machine's concerned, there is going to be a gateway, and there are going to be other machines with other operating systems, but they're not going to be in real life. They're going to be virtual. They're going to be virtual machines that exist on my computer and my laptop only. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do this with something called VMware, and I'm going to show you how to download this. I'm going to show you where to get all of the other resources to make this happen, and then I'm going to show you how to wire it all up so it all behaves like a virtual network. In the meantime, let's go ahead and scrub all of this off of my workspace, including the wonderful picture of the alien that my 8-year-old daughter drew for me just before this started. Sorry, 8-year-old daughter, my bad. Anyway, let's continue. The first thing we're going to do is go and look for VMware and see how to get that. So why don't we go ahead and grab a tab right here, and we're just going to search for download. Now it's also possible to do this. Download. There we go. Download VMware, and we're going to be searching for VMware Workstation Player specifically. So download VMware Workstation Player. It's the first thing that's come up there, so I'm going to click on that. And then what you're going to want to do is scroll down to Try Workstation 6.0 Player for Windows, and click Download Now. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually not going to be doing this now because I've already got this. So I'm going to pause this download. But once this is downloaded for you, if you go to your downloads, so I'm going to click on this. We're going to have a look at my downloads. If you go to your downloads, then you should see a little widget that looks kind of like this. And then if you double click on that, then you'll start the installation process. Now, again, I'm not actually going to be doing the installation process. And it's not even going to let me do the installation process because I've already got this installed. But one thing it is going to let you do is see the little window that pops up. So let's take a look at that little window when it in fact decides that it's going to pop up. Just waiting for this little window here. It's going to pop up any minute now, and it's going to tell me in fact that it's not going to let me install it because I've already got it installed, which is fine. So there's a little window that pops up for me. So cannot install alongside VMware Workstation. Please uninstall VMware Workstation before attempt to install VMware Player. I'm not going to do that because I'm kind of doing this live. And it's going to tell me that I can't do it. But all you do, you guys know the score. It's just next, finish. And then that's fine. That's all you've got to do. It's as simple as that. Once you've got it downloaded, you're going to have something that looks a little bit like this. So you're going to see a logo that looks like this, or the logo that looks like it's in the thumbnail, the kind of arrow logo. You're going to click on that. And then you're going to see a blank space like this. And then once you've got this blank space, you're ready to start installing other things. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is go to a very specific address, which I'm just going to copy and paste into the browser right here. And this is where we're going to get our Windows machine that we're going to hack into. So https://developer.microsoft.com/en/us/microsoft-edge /tools/VMS. So there we go. Let's go to that. And it should say something like test Internet Explorer 11, excuse me, and Microsoft Edge Legacy using free Windows 10 virtual machines you download and manage locally. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to go to MS Edge on Windows 10. You can choose absolutely any of these, but we're going to go for the most recent one. Choose VM platform, it's going to say, and you're going to go to VMware on Windows and Mac. You're going to click on that and then download .zip. Now, again, I'm not actually going to do this because as soon as I click on download .zip, it's going to take quite a long time to do that. So let's pretend you've already done that. Go away and do that, and then kind of come back once that's happened. So you're going to click on that. Once that's happened, in your downloads, you're going to see something like that. You're not going to see that yet. You're going to see something like this. You're going to see a zipped folder. So msedge.win10.vmware.zip. And how are you going to unzip this? Well, you know, there's a whole bunch of different things you can use to unzip stuff with. But my personal preference is to use something called 7-zip. So I just show you where that resides. So let's go to 7zip.org, and then you're going to download 7-zip. So for me, it's going to be the 64-bit x64 for Windows. So I'm going to click on that. That's going to download 7-zip, wherever that is, and then you're going to go ahead and there you go. You're going to double click on that and install it, and then once that's installed, you should be able to right click on this folder, 7-zip, and extract files. This is a process again which takes a little while, so I'm not going to be doing it live. So you're going to click on extract files. Once you've clicked on extract files, you're going to have a folder that looks kind of like this, and so it's going to say the same as the zipped folder, except it's not going to end in .zip. And you're going to be able to open it and go into this folder, and you'll see a bunch of stuff. Now, we're going to be using this file in just a second, and I'm going to show you how. You're going to go to your VMware Workstation, 16 player, because that's what it is. And then you're going to click on File, Open, and then basically you probably won't be there. You'll have to navigate to where you're going. So I'm going to go to Downloads. I'm going to go to that unzipped folder, and I'm going to keep on clicking into that folder until I see a file which I can actually click on and actuate, and it's going to end in OVF. So it's MS Edge, and you can read what that says there, .ovf. I'm going to double click on that. Let's give my virtual machine a name, and let's call it Windows 10. Why not? Because that's kind of exactly what it is. And then I'm going to click on Import. Now, this is a process which takes a little while. That's what's going on here. Name for the new virtual machine. Why don't we call this Windows 10 another one, because it's not letting me do that. So let's give that a crack. There we go. Now it's letting me do it. Now this is a process that's going to take quite a while. So whilst this process is going on, I'm going to show you how to find and download Kali Linux. Blimey, I hope it doesn't take as long as it looks like it's going to take here. So let's go and find and download Kali Linux now, because we're also going to be using that. So we're going to just search for download Kali for virtual machines. There we go, download Kali for virtual machines. You should see something here that says get Kali Linux. And then you're going to want to scroll all the way down. You'll see all of these boxes until you see, there it is, virtual machines. And then you're looking for this, VMware. And then again, you've got an option to click that and download it. And when you do that again, that takes a little while. So this isn't a process that we're in fact going to go through right now. I'm going to assume that you're going to do that and then come back and join me after you've done it. And again, it's exactly the same as with the Windows stuff that we've just downloaded. When you first get it, when it first hits your machine, it's going to be a zip file, and it's in fact going to look like this. So it's going to, this one actually ends in .7z. And so again, you're going to right click it. You're going to go to 7-zip, extract files, or extract here. I think extract files is fine. And then you're going to end up with a folder that looks kind of like this. And again, once you have your folder, you're going to go to, you're going to open Player, File, Open, and I think I've got a feeling I should kind of just let this do its little thing here. But so Player, Open, File, file open even, and then I'm going to go to Kali Linux. I'm going to go to that folder that's just been unzipped, and I'm going to click into it until I see something I can actually click. This one ends in .vmx. I'm going to click on that, and then eventually, oh, that was actually happened quite quickly. That's going to pop up and it's going to appear right there, and that's how the Windows one's going to look in a couple of moments. Now, before I double click this and open it, let's actually see what we've got. I'm going to right click and go to settings, and then right here it says settings, and this is a place where I can basically play with the amount of resources I allocate my virtual machine when it's up and running. So I haven't actually got 64 gigabytes of RAM on my laptop. I've got 16, and at the moment I'm allocating 2 of those for Kali Linux, which I think is kind of fair enough. I've also got processors. How many cores do I want to give this? Well, I've got how many cores? I think I've got six cores on my machine. So honestly, I think I'm cool just allocating one core of processing power to Kali Linux when I run it. And I've also got a hard disk right here, and this is the maximum amount of space I'm going to allow it to save to, and so that's great. So why don't we go ahead and click OK for that? And actually, we should probably just go back for a second too, because let's just look at the network this is on. Because remember, the whole purpose of this is that we're going to be interconnecting all of these machines. Now it says here network adapter NAT. Now what does NAT stand for? Well, why don't we go ahead and use Google for that? NAT network meaning. There we go. NAT network meaning. Wonderful. So NAT stands for network address translation. It's a way to map multiple local private addresses to a public one before transferring the information. And so basically all that this is saying is that this is going to behave like a network for us. So it's going to be as if all of these machines are interconnected through a gateway, which then goes out to the internet. Only it's all going to be happening on our machine virtually. So this Kali machine right here is going to be its own machine connected to my computer, acting as a gateway going out to the internet. We're also going to have a Windows machine as well. And that's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to be going on. So anyway, let's cancel out of that and see how Windows is doing. Windows is still doing a little bit of thinking, which is fair enough. It's kind of what Windows spends most of its time doing. And I'm loath to actually try to do anything with that while it's thinking. So why don't we start up Kali right now and see what we've got. See how it actually looks. So there we go. So I'm going to double click on this and go into it and see if we can have a look and do some stuff. So virtual machine appears to be in use. Take ownership. And it doesn't like to do that at the moment. So for whatever reason, it's not going to allow me to do that. Maybe it's because it's already doing something, which is a bit of a pain, to be honest. So let me just close that one down. Got so many instances of this up, it's unreal. Yep, so we're trying to install Windows. I'm just going to try to open this up once more to see if it'll let me do it. I don't know if it's got virtual machine appears to be in use. Okay, so we are just going to have to wait a little bit longer until Windows has finished doing its merry thing, but thankfully it looks like cancel. But thankfully it looks like Windows is almost finished doing its little thing, and so that's absolutely fantastic. And once that's finished doing its thing, then we can get on with stuff. There we go. So that has now disappeared, which should mean that Windows has finished installing. Hopefully, yes, there it is. Okay, Windows 10, another one is now finished installing, which should now mean that I should be able to open up both of these. So why don't we go ahead and open up Kali first, and let's see what it does. So no warnings this time, which is great. Now, the way to open up 2 of these at once is actually to open 2 of these windows up at once. With VirtualBox, it's possible to open multiple machines up from the same kind of VirtualBox instance, if you like. Whereas with VMware Workstation, you have to open a new instance up of VMware Workstation for each machine that you want to use. And that's quite an important difference between this and VirtualBox. Let's just wait for Kali Linux to boot itself up and feel happy with where it is. And actually, whilst we're doing that, maybe no, we won't boot Windows up as well. We will. let's boot Windows up too. So if I wanted to boot up Windows at the same time, then I would actually have to click on another instance of VirtualBox. We can actually get rid of this now because we don't need this anymore. I would have to open up another instance of VirtualBox, and I'd have to double click on Windows. The reason that we're doing this is with Windows right now is because I've got a feeling it might ask me to restart Windows once I've started it up anyway. So we're kind of saving ourselves a little bit of time, which is useful. There's another version of VMware which is commercial, which you pay for, and that's just Workstation. It's not Workstation Player, and you can do things like, I believe from that you can run various different instances at the same time. So the default password for Kali is just Kali, and the username is Kali as well, which is great. So let's put both of those in, and let's boot up. Remember, we're just running off 1 core and 2 gigabytes of RAM. So respect for Kali, which is doing its little thing there. And let's have a terminal emulator so that we can start exploring things and seeing how it's doing. Windows in the meantime is still booting up. Okay, so Windows is now booted up. I'm actually going to close this. Yeah, I'm gonna suspend guest for the moment. So let's suspend that, and we'll come back to it in a second, and you'll see why in a moment. So the first thing we're going to do is have a little look at our network. We're going to go ifconfig, and we can see here that that we've got a little bit of information. So we're connected over Ethernet as far as the computers as far as this virtual machine is concerned. Of course, we're not connected over Ethernet. This machine is connected to my machine, which is connected to the internet. It's just acting like it's connected via Ethernet. And I believe that this is my IP address, as in belonging to me, which is fantastic. That's good to know. And I also have a MAC address as well, and that's my MAC address, which is connected over Ethernet. And that'll do for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scan my local network to see what I can see. And so we're going to use nmap to do that. First of all, we're going to give ourselves some privileges. So, and password is Kali by default. So sudo su just elevates my privileges, and I can basically do anything I want to without having to input passwords. I believe that if I was to try this without doing this, I wouldn't be able to access the outside world. I wouldn't be able to access what I want to access. So anyway, let's go to nmap. We're going to go to nmap. SN stands for simple no port scan, and if I take a look here, I can see that the NAT network address structure seems to kind of be this. So I'm going to guess that that 192.168.21 is kind of everything on the network is going to start with that. That's going to be the prefix, if you like, for everything on the network. 168.21.128. I wonder if I can scan myself. Let's give that a crack. Yeah, and so I've managed to scan myself, and there I am. Okay, so basically, yep, I'm up and I'm there. Wonderful. Let's try something else now. So rather than scanning that, if I go 0/24, that's the same as saying all the ports from all of the addresses from 0 to 255. So using this as my prefix, I'm going to scan all of the IP addresses on the network with this as the prefix 0.0 to 0.255. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's see what we can see. Let's give it a moment. Okay, and so we've managed to find a couple more things. Now, one of these, I suspect, is going to be my gateway. So one of these is my computer acting as a gateway to the internet. I'm not entirely certain exactly what this is, and this is me. So it's managed to find a bunch of different things, and it's kind of saying, oh, well, this is... okay, so this is VMware. So this is a VMware component, and this is its MAC address. So this would be the MAC address of the router. If I was scanning a real network, that would in fact be the MAC address of a router or a gateway. So, or it might be this. I'm not entirely certain. It's not important right now. But anyway, this is me, and I have a MAC address as well. Do I? Yes, I have a MAC address as well, and I think that's it. Anyway, so yeah, we're capable of scanning a network. Can we see the Windows machine yet? Well, let's take a look. Why don't we go and why don't we open up that Windows machine and see how it looks. So again, let's go to a Workstation, opening up another kind of instance of Workstation, if you like. And again, let's open up Windows 10. One thing I didn't do before doing that was configure anything to do with the amount of RAM that Windows was using. So if things slow down a bit, then that's why. So the default password for Windows, and I think it tells you this on the website as well, but it's capital PASSW0RD exclamation mark. So again, we can take a look at that right before I submit it. Capital PASSW0RD exclamation mark, and off we go. So we're going to log in here. We're going to now have a look at what our IP address is as a Windows user. And so right now we have two machines connected on our virtual NAT network, if you like, which is connected to the internet via my machine, which is acting as a gateway or a router. Okay, so just while that's loading up, I guess there's no reason why I couldn't get a little bit interesting with some more drawing. So let's see if I can do that. So what we've got is we have there we go. Let's have that. So we have a router. There we go. That's a router right there. Okay, the router. I don't care what you say. Let's remind ourselves this is my machine. So the machine that I'm working on now. So it's not my machine. It's my laptop. That says laptop. All right. And then we have a Kali Linux machine as well. There's my Kali Linux machine. We'll call that K. Then we have a Windows machine too. There's a Windows machine. Let's call that W. And both of those are connected to this router, which is then connected off to the internet. And there's the World Wide Web. That's a world. All right. And this is our virtual NAT network. So this isn't happening in real life. This is what my computer thinks is happening right now. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my laptop. This is my laptop. And this is what my laptop thinks is going on right now. So we have a Kali machine, a Windows machine, which is connected to the internet via a router. All right. And if you remember the IP address, if we just remind ourselves, the IP address of my machine, of this Kali machine, sorry, is 128. So if I'm just going to go ahead and write 128 up here. 128. We don't know what the address of the Windows machine is yet. We will shortly. And I believe that this ends in 1 or 2. Let's just pretend it ends in 1. All right. So let's see what the IP address of the Windows machine is now. Just going to have a quick look and make sure this isn't too kind of blotchy. No, that's fine. So let's take a look at the Windows machine. CMD. Get the command line up. And then once that comes up, we're going to go ipconfig, and we're going to take a look and see what our IP address is. So ipconfig, yeah, ipconfig for Windows, that's right. I had to check myself there. And it looks like our IPv4 address is in fact 192.168.21. So no, it's the same kind of, it's the same address structure as everything else. And that's 133. And it says there that the default gateway is 2. So in fact, we can now say that this isn't in fact 1, this is 2, and this is 133. So that's 0.133, 0.128, and 0.2. Okay, so when we did our Nmap scan just now, we in fact didn't see anything that said 0.133. So we had 0.1, 0.2, 0.2454, and 0.128, which is the Kali machine. So let's see if we scan this again now, we can actually see that Windows machine. So off we go, we're now running. And in fact, we can see with this Nmap scan that we've got 192.168.21, 0.133, which proves that this machine right here, our Kali machine, can see, that's a picture of an eye, our machine can see that machine and is aware of that machine, which kind of shows that all of these are interconnected because both of these machines are aware of the gateway, and both of these machines, I'm assuming, then connect to the internet. So anyway, we'll check that in a second. But the point is that now we know that our Kali machine can see the Windows machine because we've just done a network scan, and it can, and whereas before it was incapable. Before it didn't see anything ending in 0.133, which is what the Windows machine is, but now it does see that machine ending in 0.133. So quick recap. How did we get there? We downloaded and installed VMware player, sorry. We downloaded and unzipped Kali Linux and a version of Windows. We opened those files on VMware. No idea why that's flashing around there. We opened and installed those on VMware. And now, having done that, this is now acting like a NAT network. And so now, if we wanted to, it needs to reboot. No chance. Not right now. Windows is just nuts off its little head. And so now both of these are on the same network talking to the internet through my computer, which is, again, like we said right here, acting as a gateway to the internet. And so our lab is effectively set up. Our lab is ready. So we could go ahead and try to hack into this Windows machine from this Kali machine, which we may be doing at some point. So just to prove that the Kali machine is connected into the internet, why don't we do apt install, and then cmatrix is good fun. So apt install cmatrix and see if we can go and get that from the internet. And then unable to locate package cmatrix. Let's have apt update. There we go. We'll leave that to update for a moment. That's the problem there. And then in terms of the Windows machine, let's just see if we're connected to the internet by going on Microsoft Edge, because don't we just love Microsoft Edge? Spectacular. There we go. Let's go and take a look at this. And you're gonna open up Microsoft Edge for me. You're gonna have issues. Let's just see if this is connected, in fact, to the internet. We know it's connected on the network. We know the machines can see each other. Can we see things on the internet? Let's search for a cat picture, because why not? That's what the internet was made for. Close this down, otherwise we'll never find anything. So we've got Bing, and it says cat picture. It seems to be searching for something. Bearing in mind, I'm trying to stream this at the same time. There we go. And so we're able to see cat pictures now through Microsoft Edge, and we're successfully getting and downloading updates on the Kali machine. So I'm now confident that both of these are on the internet. cmatrix, by the way, is great fun if you can install that. Just install it and then type cmatrix. Oh, look, we're done. Okay, cmatrix. So as a proof of concept that this is downloaded and installed on the internet, apt install cmatrix. We want to install this. Yes, please. So let's install that now. There we go. So that's now getting towards being installed. Reading database. Oh man, this might take ages. Is it going to take ages, or is it doing it quickly? No, it's doing it quickly. We'll be able to do this. We are going to do this. There we go. And now cmatrix. There we go. And off we go. And so we just downloaded this off of the internet. And so we now know that this is working too. And we can pretend that we are a better hacker than we currently are. Thanks very much for watching. This is